Welcome to the ArmaniTalks YouTube channel, the #1 YouTube channel for you to level up your communication skills. Learn the art of public speaking, social skills, and personal branding to take your message to the world. If you're new to this channel, make sure you hit subscribe right on below for the latest videos regarding how to become a better communicator online and offline. For today's video, I'm going to be teaching you how to leverage Twitter to become a better communicator. You heard that right, Twitter. When I first heard about Twitter, I thought it was the stupidest app that I could possibly think of. I mean, at that time, I thought it was just Facebook statuses being put in a different social media platform. What was the hype about it? I initially got Twitter, but it was mainly just to consume. I followed sports pages, entertainment pages, certain news sites, that's it. But sometime last year, I noticed a change in paradigm. I noticed that there were a lot of people who were leveraging Twitter. They were using Twitter to build massive audiences by just sharing their insights, skills, expertise, and hobbies. And around that time, I thought, why not? Why not give it a try? So June 2018, I created the ArmaniTalks Twitter account, and I started to chronicle my journey as a public speaker. Around that time, I had restarted the entire Toastmasters program, and I wanted to chronicle the entire journey. So for the next few weeks, I just started to post different insights, tweets regarding public speaking, how to design a speech, and different ideas that I would have on my day-to-day life. Well, for the first few weeks, I was just tweeting into the air. I didn't have much followers. I would say I had like 3 followers after 3 weeks of work. Not much. But this was good because this allowed me to feel more creative. I didn't have all these eyes watching me. So I started to experiment with more and more ideas. As the few weeks turned into months, certain things started to change. I noticed that after consistently tweeting for a few months, that I was actually becoming a better communicator. I noticed that I was much more precise with my words. That was one benefit. Because before I used to ramble a lot. But after using Twitter, I became much more precise with my delivery. The second benefit was that I started to get much more creative ideas. The first time I was doing Toastmasters, it was not too difficult to design a speech, but it was very difficult to think of different ideas for the speech. This time around, after incorporating Twitter into the mix, I noticed that the idea part came easy. It was seamless almost. What was happening? Why was I becoming a better communicator ever since I started to add a habit of tweeting? After doing some research on it, I started to realize why. Number one, a tweet is composed of 280 characters. So you are being forced to turn very, very complex ideas into something that is just 280 characters long. This isn't easy. This is challenging. That's why over time, I was becoming a much more precise communicator. The fact that I was consciously putting effort into turning complex ideas into a small tweet, this spilled over into my real life. Nowadays in conversation, I knew exactly when I was speaking a little too much and knew when I could add a little bit more words to my sentences. And another thing with Twitter, the reason I was starting to get great ideas was because now I was being forced to write my ideas into a tweet. How often do we have ideas, but we don't write them down? You ever had that moment when you had this brilliant idea and then within a few hours, it just disappears? And you're thinking, wait a minute. There was this idea that I had. It went something like, dang, I lost it. Well, that's what happens when you don't write your ideas down. So Twitter forced me to write down my ideas and forced me to add nuance to the ideas. Over time, once I started to notice benefits with just tweeting, I decided to add something else to my arsenal. I decided that I was going to learn how to do threads as well. If you're not too familiar with the Twitter terminology, threads are basically just multiple tweets one by one by one. Think of it as blog articles in fragmented pieces. Threads were a game changer Because by consistently tweeting, I had built the idea muscle. And by now turning those ideas into threads, I was being forced to add nuance and details to ideas. So I was able to build on top of one idea to another. And this allowed for just much deeper thinking as a whole. So if you're someone that's struggling with communication skills, one thing that I would recommend that you start doing is adding Twitter into your arsenal. And use Twitter with intent. Don't be the guy that's just getting on Twitter, watching memes, watching drama, engaging in bullshit. Don't be that guy. Use Twitter for the predominant purpose of becoming a better communicator. This is pretty dope when you think about it, because nowadays you have a tool in your pocket that you can leverage anytime. All of us, at a certain point, we want to journal, or we started journaling and we quit. Why do we quit though? We quit because it's an active process to get out a journal, get a pen, and start writing it down. Sometimes we feel a little lazy. Other times, some of you guys may journal in Microsoft Documents, and that again, it requires certain steps to turn on Microsoft Document and then start typing. But with Twitter, it's much easier. You have your phone on you all the time. So start treating Twitter like a pocket journal. Share your ideas with the world and become a better communicator from it. Another bonus effect, this is a huge bonus effect, is that eventually over time, as you consistently post ideas after ideas after ideas, you're going to start creating your voice. You're going to start to see what you stand for. And what's going to happen is when you spread information in the digital world, that's sort of like you spreading energy. And when you spread energy, you attract like energy back. So don't be too surprised if you start building an audience by accident. If that's not your goal, then you could always put your Twitter account on private, but it's a pretty cool thing to have, because a Twitter is sort of like the modern day business card. When I was first starting ArmaniTalks, I never had the intention of it turning into a global brand, a business. It just sort of happened. So for you in your journey right now, what I challenge you to do is start a Twitter account. You can show your face, or it could be an anonymous account, and just consistently post tweets every single day. I've made it a priority to write at least one tweet every day. I've been doing this since June 2018. And this habit is going to compound over time. Eventually, you're going to become a much more clear communicator. You're going to have a lot of fresh, new creative ideas, and you can always build a following and turn it into a business as well down the line. So start leveraging Twitter, make the most out of it, and realize that you are now living in the digital age. Do not be archaic anymore. Use your social media and do not let it use you. If today's episode helped you, make sure you drop a like for me and you share it to your local social media platform so other people can start leveraging their Twitter rather than whining on it non-stop. Thank you, my friend, for joining the ArmaniTalks YouTube channel. I'll catch you on the next episode.